Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. We're once again sponsored by the wonderful Miskatonic Books. Thank you so much, Miskatonic Books, for your sponsorship. Miskatonic Books are doing a special offer, and I've actually posted about this through my channel and also on the Foolish Fish Discord channel. But if you use the code VAL or lowercase 14 VAL14, that's Valentine 14 of course, at checkout on miskatonicbooks.com between the 14th of February, which has been and gone, and the 17th of February, you can get 14% off your purchases, which is fantastic. But that's actually compounded on top of the 10% discount that you automatically get if you pay with cryptocurrency. So that's a huge saving. Of course, Miskatonic Books, if you don't know them, they are your number one international purveyor of occult books and difficult to get volumes. But they're also great for shipping over books that have been published abroad, maybe, and where the shipping costs are very high. If you have a look at their front page, it's always a cornucopia of inspiration for great books that everyone's hoping for and yearning for, and in some cases actually managing to get, thanks to their fantastic special offers like the one that they're running at the moment. I was just seeing Dreams of Witches here in its deluxe edition, which is available here through miskatonicbooks.com. And that's really reminding me of another Kickstarter from Black Letter Press, which is about to launch. And I told you about it last week already, so I won't belabor the point. However, I have some little teasers here. We are getting a first look at the design of the standard hardcover, and okay, still subject to change, okay, but this is the direction that we're currently looking at. And then this is the deluxe edition as it currently stands. So once again, this isn't necessarily final, right? But it's how it's currently looking. I'm so excited. I spent today actually making a little video talking about this project, this book that is finally going to be seeing the light of day, as long as it gets funded, of course, through Kickstarter. And yeah, I just can't wait to release it and to get started with the whole thing. We'll talk about that again very soon, no doubt. Okay, little news from Anathema Publishing. So a Druid and Psychologist's clothing will be opening pre-orders very soon. Okay, so whether that's a few hours or maybe a couple of days, I'm not 100% sure, but it's certainly not going to be much longer than that. This is going to be Anathema's first release of the year. Anathema Publishing's books are always big news, and this is going to be about E. Graham Howe's Secret Druidic Doctrine. So yeah, we're getting a look already at the front cover and the back cover. I really like that idea of having the psychologist on the back and the druid on the front, which is really nice. You can read the whole blurb over here. Just go down into the description, find the link. I always link everything that I talk about in these videos down below. So yeah, go and check it out. Let me see, it looks like Joseph Uccello is going to be doing the typographical work on this particular book. Little note that Anathema Publishing announced last year that they're no longer going to be doing what they have been doing, which was the standard edition and a collector's edition and an artisanal edition. This is going to be the standard and the collector's grouped together. Okay, it's just going to be one edition for those what has traditionally previously been 2 editions. And I think that that's probably not a bad idea. As I was saying previously, I feel like it's going to give them an opportunity to just pool all of their good ideas into one beautiful volume, and it's going to be priced at just closer to the standard edition than it than to the what the collector's edition has traditionally been, and they will all be hand numbered, which is amazing, right? 1,000 copies, and so we're looking at a release date of around May, if I remember correctly. Something like that. I may be wrong. Anyway, all the details are down in that link down below. Okay, let's move on to news from Samuel David, who has announced that his book that I reviewed, you may remember I reviewed that Lioness, the Song of Inanna. He's releasing it as a deluxe edition, very, very limited run, only a few here. I can't remember exactly how many it is. I currently have in my possession 8 copies, is what he's saying, and he's selling them for $250 each. That's a firm price, he says. So some details here. We can see what the original standard edition looked like, which was already pretty deluxe, if you ask me. And this is what the deluxe edition is going to look like. So we're looking at 4 beautiful illustrations. Yes, 10 cuneiform epithets by Rowan Cassidy. 106 pages, Smith's Own Cream, £100 stock. Saffron and scarlet headbands on the top and the bottom of the spine, of course. Custom made end papers. Trim size is the same as a small one. And he's also going to be taking a number of seven personal copies of the standard edition, which he's going to be consecrating and selling those individually as well at a slightly higher price than the standard, which you can buy through Miskatonic books, actually, if it's right there, through Miskatonic books. If I remember correctly, that is exclusive to Miskatonic books, other than if you reach out to Samuel David personally, of course. There we are. So yeah, really exciting news there. Jerusalem Press are putting out a new Austin Osman Spare book. Actually, it's a republishing. It's a new edition of the Book of Pleasures, but the Book of Pleasure, excuse me. This time it's getting an introduction by Alan Moore, which is cool to know that he's still doing stuff. I've just not seen very much from him recently. There was an announcement last year that he was working on something, but nothing more came out of that. So that's quite nice to see that. It was, let me see, it was Watkins Books, I believe, who pointed me to that. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. Maybe I won't scroll down too much. Knowing Austin Osman Spare, that can be a little bit, risque. But I'll let you check out the shots that Watkins Books made of the volume. There's going to be 2 editions once again. There's going to be a standard edition for £60 and a limited deluxe edition for £170. Again, depending on the region. I think it costs a little bit more if you're in Europe or the rest of the world, because the shipping is included. There we go. So yeah, you can read all about that stuff in your own time, just following the links down below. Great news from Hadean Press. Imperatrix Æterna has opened its pre-orders once again. So we're looking at £35. I believe it's €40. And at the moment, only the hardcover is available to pre-order. But this is the cover of the upcoming paperback, which is, as far as I know, not yet available to pre-order. So this has been the way of working that has happened most recently for most of the books that Hadean Press have put out. We don't really get to see the hardcover until a little bit later, until they're actually ready to go to print, right? So at the moment, it's at the phase of pre-order. I think we can probably trust Hadean Press by now with the just producing something very beautiful. All of their hardcovers have been gorgeous over the past few years. I can't think of a single one of their books that hasn't just been really, really lovely of their hardcovers. So that's really, really nice. So it's looking at Magical Stories of the Queen of Heaven. There we are. I recommend checking out the description here to find out the various approaches to the divine feminine that this book is going to present, since they are going to be translations of various stories about the Queen of Heaven, which is really very exciting stuff. Really, really nice. Okay, news from Theon Publishing. Pre-order, once again, another pre-order. We're looking at Underworld, a second edition of Underworld, which has been very popular. It went out of print pretty fast, this one, and it's looking like we're going to be getting an expanded second edition of Underworld. The living stand in awe and fear before the forbidden realms of the Underworld, yet for thousands of years necromancers have practiced the black arts to traffic with legions of the dead, the demonic spawn of the chthonic realms, and even with dark rulers themselves. So you can read the full description by skipping down here and reading. So this is by the Sepulchre Society. They're an anonymous group of people, and they have various authors. And if you maybe remember my reviewing Ferocious, or maybe you had the joy of having your own copy, or of at least seeing a copy in real life, that was also by the Sepulchre Society. And so they never actually give out their actual name. The publisher just releases it under the author Sepulchre Society, which is cool, right? Which is absolutely fine. We can see some various editions available. The Auric edition, which is Theon's Deluxe edition, for €345, but the standard hardcover cloth edition is €69. Still remaining very reasonable there, and quite affordable as Deluxe, as nice independently published hardcovers go. All right, and then we've got Inanna Press. Inanna Press still accepting submissions for their first Inannanthology. Is that the way to pronounce that? If you are interested in maybe submitting your own work on the concept of Inanna, then you can find out a little bit more about Inanna Press. Do be aware that they are not paid, right? But will receive full recognition for their works. If you are interested in contributing to a body of work that is there to pay homage to Inanna, then you may consider this one. I'll leave details down below, of course, as always. Okay, news from Dr. Alexander Cummins, who is making available a course for $35, Geomancy for Dirt Sorcery class bundle, which is very exciting. Always nice to see new material from Alexander Cummins. There's a full description over here, of course, but then you get an idea of what will be included in this thing that you're purchasing. It's actually a recording, right? So it's a 150-minute long lecture recording. You get all the slides from his PowerPoint presentation, and some early modern primary source texts. bibliography for further readings, and a course list for further study. There we go. It gives you an idea of what the contents will be over here, so that's really nice. I'm guessing I should probably have talked about this a little bit later because we've still got some books to get through. Nevertheless, really nice to find details of Dr. Alexander Cummins' sorcery course, Dirt Sorcery course, a little bit earlier. Who knows what kind of magic produced that effect. News from Scarlet Imprint, and this was a little bit sad. This news dropped just a few moments after I recorded the video last week, and it's the news that the Hagia Sophia book, The Sanctum of Kronos by Peter Mark Adams, was defective. There was a problem with the spine, and so they had to send them all back. Nevertheless, they are being reprinted, and they should be sent out at the end of this month, at the end of February. And everyone who has put in a pre-order have already received a PDF of the book itself, which is really, really nice, really appreciated. So thank you very much for that, Scarlet Imprint. I was really, really hoping to get my hands on this one sooner than later. And to be honest with you, I prefer to have it later and to have it perfect, right? And this is what these independent publishers are great at, and Scarlet Imprint first and foremost, really. But they all are so good at this. You know, I know that that Anathema Publishing have done the same in the past, and you know, if it's not perfect, they don't just send it out and hope that nobody will notice. You know, I really, really appreciate that. I much prefer to wait an extra 3 weeks and have the book the way it was hoped for by the publisher, by the author, by us, the customers, right? And that's really the right thing to do. So that's really great. What is it? Something about making the heart grow fonder. Anyway, we'll have to wait for it, and that's absolutely fine. We'll wait with joy. That's not a problem. All right. Couple of bits of news from books that are not independently published. So books, let me see, maybe they are independently published. What am I talking about? Anyway, books that that I've been able to find on Amazon. Let's go with that. The first is Familiar Unto Me, Witches, Sorcerers, and Their Spirit Companions. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, possibly even last week. This is B.J. Swain's new book, and I am so excited for this one. 411 pages on the concept of familiars. Now, this was one of the concepts on the Foolish Fish Discord for Foolish Fish members, right? Patreon members and YouTube membership members, which we had to crack down on quite early on when the Discord was just starting, because people completely misunderstood the idea of familiars, and we had to put out disclaimers explaining that no, a familiar is not a pet. You don't go to the pet store in order to get yourself a cat and that to be your familiar, much less to then cause an animal to die or anything like that in order to acquire a familiar, or any kind of crazy stuff like this, right? So B.J. Swain is actually making available good information on familiars, and it's what the world needs, and I'm so grateful to B.J. Swain for doing this, for explaining once and for all what a familiar is, but also the whole lore surrounding familiars, and some practical information as well. There's a really nice look inside feature where you can, just have a look at the table of contents, which I showed you a couple of weeks ago already, and you'll see that there's some really exciting material here. Really, really very well researched, very well. It seems comprehensive. It seems like everything's here, and as I say, it's definitely time that we got a great book on familiars, and this seems to be it. This seems to be the one. Links down below, of course, as always. All right, and then the second one, of course, is Marco Visconti's book, the Aleister Crowley Manual, Thelemic Magick for Modern Times. This comes out of Marco Visconti's many courses on the magic of Aleister Crowley, and it's a hardcover, and it's published through Watkins Publishing. So that's really, really nice. I know that a lot of people have been waiting for this one to come out, and it came out on the 14th of February. Quite a nice Valentine's gift, no doubt. Okay. Once again, you can look inside and get some ideas of what it's about just by reading his introduction. It'll also give you an idea of his style and how approachable it all is, because that's the whole point of this book, is to make the magic of Aleister Crowley approachable and easy to understand. So yeah, great job there, Marco Visconti. Right, moving on to some nice I-Ching tools that I found here, and it's basically a box of rods that are made out of poplar wood, and they're covered in paper. All right, so they are. This is like a high quality paper, and the idea is that when you're tossing your coins for the I-Ching, you can make a note of what came out just by turning the rod right to one of the four sides. So either the two lines, or the single line, or the two lines with a cross in the middle, or the single line with a circle in the middle, right, for the changing lines. So you can use it that way, or you can simply toss them, of course, right? I guess the idea of randomization is quite important here, and so I'm not sure that that's the way that I would use them. However, in order to make a note of, rather than writing down on paper, okay, the first one was two lines, the second one was a single line with a circle or whatever, and just to just turn them round so that in the end you have the hexagram that you drew, right? Which is really, really nice. It's quite pretty. I think that's quite pretty. I think maybe I would like to see that in a different material. I feel like paper might collect finger oils, from human skin, from touching. I don't know if you've ever covered anything in paper and kept it for a very long time. It kind of goes brown if you handle it very, very regularly. Maybe there's a book that you've flicked through very, very, very many times, and you'll find that the pages that you most often refer to kind of be a little bit brown on the edges. Well, that's just the way it goes. So yeah, I'd like to see something like this, maybe made out of plastic, I mean, or resin or something like that, right? But this is very beautiful and all natural, of course, right? It's poplar wood, and it comes with a little box, and I thought that was quite lovely. You get a little close up here of what it looks like. Yeah, good stuff. Good. News from Tommy Kelly. The 40 Servants Neophyte deck is on its way. So you know the 40 Servants already. I've made a review video on the 40 Servants deck, and you know what a fan I am. And this is great. I think this is lovely because so he's republishing the deck just with the information directly on the card, which is awesome. It's useful in my opinion because it's not like the tarot that is the same whether you go to this tarot or that tarot or that tarot. The tarot is always the same, right? Maybe some small nuances, but you're always going to get, you know, the same archetypes. Here, these are. This is more like an oracle deck, not a tarot deck, right? And so they're all their own thing, and I think it's really nice so that people who are just approaching the deck can have the information that they need just at their fingertips and not have to, you know, refer to a separate booklet or PDF or whatever. Very cool stuff. Very, very nice, I think. Okay, you saw my review of the Terra Volatile tarot deck a few days ago, and you saw how much I absolutely loved that. I've been using it with a few clients, by the way, this week, and it's gone very, very well. I am absolutely in love with this deck. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. And they... Credo Quia Absurdum are doing not just the deck, but they're also doing some t-shirt designs, and I just saw some really, really nice ones. Some of them are coming soon, and yes, I have to admit, I really they look really very, very cool to me. I think I may have to pick up a one or two of these really, really lovely t-shirts. Here are some of the ones that are already available. Yeah, so I'll let you browse at your leisure. But yeah, they're very, very lovely designs. And then news from Christopher Warnock. So Christopher Warnock, whose name you may recognize since he collaborated with John Michael Greer on the Picatrix translation. Not the very latest, but the one before that, the illustrated Picatrix translation. Yeah, I was just having a look at his website where he offers a number of courses, and well, the website is yeah, could possibly do with some TLC, you know, maybe by a designer or someone I don't know. It looks pretty 2004 maybe, but the contents looks very, very cool. These are courses that yeah, I think are probably quite good. You know, I can't say for sure. I haven't taken the courses myself, but it also seems that if you take several courses, there is a significant discount. Yeah, so I'll let you discover all of that in your own time. You can see on the left over here all the various classes that become available. Now, one thing that I did notice when I was reading through this is that these are not video courses or audio courses. It's mostly stuff to read. Okay, so to be aware of that if that's not your style. But if that is your style, then I think you've got some good material here. There we are. And then finally, an interesting game that was pointed in my direction, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it is who told me about this one, but it's called Terminus, a tarot-powered ritual RPG. And I think it was originally designed as a one-person RPG, and it's like a journaling RPG that is powered by the tarot. However, it does say over here for 1 or 2 players. The idea is to get you out of the house, apparently, and trekking around and having experiences and putting all of that into the context of a tarot-driven ritual. It sounds nice, or sounds certainly at least something to look a little bit more deeply into, if that sounds good to you. Right. There we are. That's my news for this week. Thank you ever so much once again for checking out the news with me, and I will see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to support the channel if you would like to, through Patreon or through YouTube memberships, and super thanks, of course. I really appreciate anyone who clicks on that super thanks little heart button, yeah, you can, if you'd like me to receive a little bit more of your help, and well, maybe have Google take a little bit less, then my PayPal account is linked down below as well. But either way, I really appreciate your support, your yeah, in every possible way. And thank you so much once again for watching the whole video. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye bye.